And it should be mentioned, of course, that those parents have been charged for murder, but obviously they have not been tried yet. So these are just charges at this point. But we will definitely continue to follow this story and both with this specific case and the larger impact it's having on U.S. and Russia relations. Now, meanwhile, the U.S. is continuing a relentless push for international sanctions against Iran. One problem, though, a government investigation says Washington is actually failing to police those sanctions that are already in place. For more on this story, let's go live to RT's Marina Portnaya at our New York studios right near UN headquarters. Now, Marina, a report released by the Government Accountability Office is believed to be actually undercutting the U.S. international push for more punishment against Iran over its nuclear program. Tell us why.
Well, Lauren, according to the Government Accountability Office, Washington has failed to prevent dual use and military equipment from traveling from the United States to Iran. GAO officials say that the goods are being illegally transshipped by individuals and firms through other countries such as the United Arab Emirates, Singapore, and Malaysia. So what are these goods that we're talking about? Well, according to the long list, some of them include components for U.S.-built fighter aircraft, night vision goggles, submarine guns, and also lab equipment and sensitive technology that the report says is being shipped directly to Iran's nuclear entities. Now, one of the reasons that's given for why this is happening is that Custom and Border officials are not receiving the data they need in time to be able to efficiently enforce effective inspections at U.S. ports. So this report, of course, coming out as the U.S. is amping up its argument for a fourth round of sanctions against Iran over its nuclear enrichment program, which the U.S. and many Western allies argue they believe that the Iran is using to make nuclear weapons. And of course, Iran says that its enrichment program is only being used for peaceful purposes.
Well, and Marina, I mean, yesterday at the United Nations, we heard Washington pushing for more sanctions against Iran. Now, the Security Council has already passed 3 rounds against the country. How effective would more sanctions be?
Well, what is being reported so far is that if this fourth round of sanctions would be approved and adopted by the Security Council, is that it would be a tight grip and it would hit hard against Iran's economic entities. We don't know the details of it because from what reporters are being told, nothing has been drafted or written up yet. But according to the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times and several other media outlets, the U.S. is circulating a draft resolution, but the U.S. ambassador to the UN has denied that. But what is concerning for most countries, and the reason why they want to possibly are considering another push, is because of what the IAEA has been reporting. That's the UN's nuclear watchdog group, indicating that Iran has not been transparent when it comes to its nuclear program, has not been very quick to disclose all the information the IAEA would like, and that is essentially why many of the Security Council powers are considering another round. And it's something that the Russian ambassador to the UN, Vitaly Churkin, remarked on. Here's a little bit of what he had to say.
We are concerned by the concerns expressed by IAEA. We are guided by IAEA. We respect IAEA. So when they are not satisfied with what they see in their cooperation with Tehran, we are obviously also very concerned. And this adds up to things which raise worries about the nature of their nuclear program, and that only reinforces, obviously, in our mind as well.
All right, Marina. Well, we'll certainly.
Now,
Sorry, go ahead.
I just want to mention one last thing for our viewers to know that China at this point has not endorsed or supported any moves for sanctions against Iran. China is still pushing for diplomacy. We also have other members of the Security Council, such as Brazil, Turkey, Lebanon, that have spoken out and said they would not support sanctions. So right now there is a little bit of a divide and there's more discussion that's ongoing. Of course, we'll continue to follow this story here at RT.
Of course, and looks like there's some formidable opposition to those sanctions. And as you mentioned, we will definitely keep our eye on this. And